PTF and JK here from Mirror Twin Brewing in Lexington. Lexington, a great eating and drinking city. People think a lot about whiskey when they think about Lexington, Kentucky. Maker's Mark, one of my personal favorites. But there's also some pretty good suds as well. You know this place?
I do. I've watched lots of football games here on a Sunday for happy hour. I watched a Belmont here once before. I've hung out here. The Wi-Fi is good, and the beer is good as well.
That's what you really need if you're a horse player hanging out at a brewery. We did this segment last year. We're going to do it this year in two parts. We're going to go head-to-head in all 14 Breeders' Cup races starting on the Friday. The theory behind the game is highest mutuals win, play, show. You good with that?
Pete, look, if it's a competition between you and I, and it has to do with horses, I'm guaranteed to win. So you can change the rules however you want them to be. I'm good with it.
I do believe last year in this very event was the time that I was actually able to improve my head-to-head all-time record to you to about 12 and 147. So I'm feeling confident heading in. Let's start off with the Juvenile Turf Sprint. I have a feeling I know where you're going in here, but let it be official.
I'll take Golden Pal from the outside. I have no problem with the post. I think the price will be sneaky good for the horse that I think might be the most likely winner on the weekend.
Big full field. I think a lot of people will be looking to Chaos. I would have taken that if I went first. I'm going to give it a try to Cowan in this race, JK. I thought had a bit of a trip last time. Competitive figure. I'll certainly be getting a price, hopefully a double figure price into the teeth of your Golden Pal. With that, we'll move on to the Juvenile Turf. I get to go first this time. New Mandate, one of the runners I'm most excited about betting on the entire card on Friday. I think this one's got the figures in form. Looks to me like some of the winners of this race in the past. New Mandate, the one I'm interested in. One of many Frankie Dettori mounts I'll be on over the 2 days. I do love Frankie, but that's pure coincidence. I'm not a jockey player. But what about you, JK? Juvenile Turf, where are you going?
Yeah, I thought I might have picked New Mandate, but you stole it from me, which seems to be a theme around here. I'll take the one Seal Away down on the inside. Should be able to work out a nice pocket trip from the inside.
Big figure in that last race. As a figure player, I'll have Seal Away somewhere in my mix as well. Let's talk about the Juvenile Phillies. Very divisive race among horse players. I got to defer to you. Where do you want to go?
I'm going to take Princess Noir. I understand the figures are slow, but I think there might be something there. I ran into Bob Baffert at Jeff Ruby, and he told me she has not been out of second gear.
She better not have been with the figures she's been running that aren't good enough to win a maiden at Saratoga. Day out of the office is the one I want, just sort of moto figure play here. I think she just might be the fastest, and that's where I'm going to go as we move on to the Juvenile Philly Turf. This one, oh man, there's so many different ways to go. I'm going to pick Campanelle. I'm going to put Campanelle on top in this spot. I've loved the races so far, and I had a great note about the Morney, a race Wesley Ward has used as a springboard to Breeders' Cup Juvenile success in the past with Hootenanny, but Rob Dove, one of the top 10 pro punters in the UK today, made the note that that was into a headwind. So if you can run into a headwind on deep ground with an uphill finish like she did last time, I think she'll get the distance. I think Campanelle looks great. Who are you going to pick in the Juvenile Phillies Turf?
I'll take Aunt Pearl. Lope de Vega, speed, grass, Juvenile Phillies Turf. Sounds like newspaper of record. I'll take Aunt Pearl.
Makes sense to me. Let's talk about the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, a race I know we both have some pretty strong opinions, but you're a little more divided between two contenders. I'll give you the pick. Where do you want to go here?
You know, I like Jackie's Warrior. I think there's a world in which maybe Jackie's Warrior's weapon has been really utilized around one turn and could be dulled a little bit by two turns, but man, he's really, really good. I think he's the most likely winner of all the juveniles on the dirt. I like that horse quite a bit in there, so we'll see what happens, but he's my top pick.
I'll go with Reinvestment Risk on the hope that the form can be turned around going the two turns. I am with you. I do think Jackie's Warrior, an incredibly likely winner, but that's how we'll wrap up day one. This is a two-day competition. We'll be back with another video on Saturday's races right here from Mirror Twin Brewing.